Hello everyone, this is update number 4 of the Operation Sindoor series of videos that I have been doing. Lots to talk about again. The last one I did was on Sunday. Today is 13th of May. It is 11:24 a.m. and everything that I'm telling you is till this point of time. We are going to cover in this video a few things. One is our Prime Minister has finally broken his silence and spoken on the whole thing. It was not a usual speech, just telling you outright. There is not going to be any trolling involving his teleprompter reading skills. That is not this video. The speech was extremely important. It sort of highlighted or outlined our overall new foreign policy from the way I'm looking at it. The second thing that we are going to talk about is that there was a press conference on Sunday, a briefing by the Army, Air Force and Navy DGMOs. We are going to cover what they said, especially some questions about where planes taken down. There is a thing about Kirana Hills and nuclear facilities. The third thing we are going to do is we're going to talk about Trump, because Trump tried to steal our dear prime influencers' thunder a little bit. Whether that succeeded, whether it didn't, and how the narratives are kind of different about the ceasefire and what that means. We took a lot of time to piece everything together, so would really like it if you like, subscribe and do the things. A bunch of you who have been watching these updates have been asking, ye yahan pe kya chal raha hai? How is there a chat here? This chat is members only. Right now I am doing a live stream and this is our members. They get to see me recording this live. So that is what is happening here. You get to see an edited version of the entire live stream, which is about 40-45 minutes long or less. Our live stream goes on for 2 hours. It involves analysis, some question answers, and just general chats. So if you want, you can become a member and be a part of these live streams recordings as well. Yes, without further ado, let's get to the updates. First things first, let's talk about Prime Minister Modi's speech that happened yesterday night at 8 p.m. As you know, 8 p.m. is Prime Minister's favorite time to make important announcements. You must be wondering why he hasn't been speaking all this while. So when the Pahalgam attack happened on the 22nd, he cut short his Saudi Arabia trip and he went immediately to Bihar. And then he says ki sabak sikhayenge terrorists ko, etc. All the rhetoric. Since then, he's been kind of silent. He's been going to other events, but not really speaking about this. He has been going to like some digital award event and whatever, but he has not said a word about Operation Sindoor or what is going on between India and Pakistan. There were some videos that came out of him, like meeting and whatever without sound, and just to show that he is on top of things. So that is what is happening. This is after a while he has broken his silence. So yesterday he gave a speech at 8. He said some very important things. So I'm going to play some bits of it, but I'm going to mostly translate what he said. You don't have to watch the whole thing.
कार्रवाई के बाद पाकिस्तान बचने के रास्ते खोजने लगा। पाकिस्तान दुनिया भर में तनाव कम करने के लिए गुहार लगा रहा और बुरी तरह पीटने के बाद इसी मजबूरी में 10 मई की दोपहर को पाकिस्तानी सेना ने हमारे डीजीएमओ को संपर्क किया। तब तक हम आतंकवाद के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बड़े पैमाने पर तबाह कर चुके थे।
So this is important. This is an important part of his address which I wanted to play, because immediately before he spoke, Trump spoke. Right? Trump, 15 minutes before Shri Sir Adarniya Narendra Modi ji spoke, said this.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And they were going at it hot and heavy, and it was seemingly not going to stop. And I'm very proud to let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering, powerful, but unwavering in both cases, and having these They really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we
helped a
helped
lot.
also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it. That I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop. And they have. And they did it for a lot of reasons, but trade is a big one. We're going to do a lot of trade with Pakistan. We're going to do a lot of trade with India. We're negotiating with India right now. We're going to be soon negotiating with Pakistan. And we stopped the nuclear conflict. I think it could have been a bad nuclear war.
So a few things he said, very important. Again, it's Trump speaking, so take it with a bucket load of salt because this guy is an idiot. So one thing that he said is permanent ceasefire. I don't think he understands the conflict to begin with. He kept saying that 1000 year 1500 years से conflict चल रहा है. No, 1947 में दो countries बने थे, तब से चल रहा है. But anyway, not being too pedantic here. The second thing he says that he basically pulled up trade card. He told both the countries that if you don't stop, then we will not do trade, and if you stop, then we will do trade. And then both countries apparently stopped. The third thing he says is the nuclear thing. Now, he did mention it, that he saved millions of lives and it could have gone nuclear, etc. So these three things which he said are kind of a signal of what is happening exactly. The first part, as I said, doesn't understand the conflict, so whatever he says, take it with a bucket full of salt. Second though, the trade thing. Now, Pakistan had thanked US. If you haven't seen the updates, please watch the previous videos. Pakistan had thanked the US, China, Saudi Arabia for helping with the ceasefire. Trump has been taking complete credit of the ceasefire. He gave this statement 15 minutes before Prime Minister came and gave our side. Now, if you remember what he said that after the conflict escalated on the 10th was a very action-filled day where we had literally attacked a lot of their bases. I will show you the conflict map soon. Be patient. So, Modi ji said that after this whole thing was escalating, their DGMO called our DGMO and requested a ceasefire. Now, who do you believe? Who do you believe in all of this? I would say that there is some truth to the fact that America was talking to both parties. But were they mediating? That's a different thing. Now, here's how it can work, right? Which is Trump and Vance and Rubio, all those people must be calling both sides. They must be calling our officials, and Jaishankar has basically been posting, had a talk with this person, had a talk with that. So there was conversation going on there. Then they must be calling on the other side Pakistani officials as well, which is like whatever, ye chal raha hai, wo chal raha hai. Now the thing is, this is normal diplomacy. This is normal conversations that they have, updates. This is what we are doing. This is what we are doing. So essentially, we were not talking to each other, but America sort of was maybe relaying messages from one side to the other. But that doesn't count as mediation. Mediation would involve them coming in, getting both sides together, them being present, and then sort of brokering a deal between both sides. That did not happen as far as we know. What happened is that the DGMO of Pakistan called us, which our army also said, which Prime Minister said, and then there was a ceasefire that happened. So technically it was a bilateral ceasefire as far as we know right now. Trump bake ja raha hai, bakne do, right? But this is my educated guess based on readings, etc., about what happened. So this whole trade thing, our government also said that there was no talk of trade at all. But you have to understand, and this is important, there are trade talks going on with America right now. We have a ton of tariff being put on us, India pe. So it might have played a role, maybe not outright, but in the back of the negotiations, there was like this whole thing, a cloud hanging on us of trade and tariffs and all the things. Maybe it was not actually a part of the talks, but I'm pretty sure everybody had that in mind. So that is one thing, right? The nuclear part. Let's come to that.
हर उस जगह जाकर कठोर कार्रवाई करेंगे जहां से आतंक की जड़ें निकलती हैं। दूसरा, कोई भी न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल भारत नहीं सहेगा। न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल की आड़ में पनप रहे आतंकी ठिकानों पर भारत सटीक और निर्णायक प्रहार करेगा। तीसरा,
Okay. Few things that Modi said in his speech, I need to tell you. First is, as I said, this is not a normal speech. This basically was outlining our new foreign policy, if you want to call it that way, especially when it comes to Pakistan. Modi said that now there will be no distinction between the operatives who are running terrorist organizations like JEM, LET, and the administration. So essentially, now our stand is that the Pakistan army and military is doing terrorism, in so many words. So essentially, every time some act happens which is a terrorist act, we will retaliate on their military. He said Operation Sindoor is not done, it is still ongoing. I think what he means to say is that now this is the new normal. This is basically going to be the new playbook for us, which is you do terror attacks, we attack your military, we bomb your bases, we do surgical strikes, precision strikes, whatever else, right? The third thing he said is that nuclear part, right? Now, you have to understand this is a conflict between two nuclear nations, right? With Ukraine and Russia, Russia has nuclear weapons, Ukraine doesn't. With Israel and Gaza, Gaza doesn't have nuclear weapons, Israel has nuclear weapons. But with this conflict, both are nuclear powers, both have nuclear weapons. We have a massive arsenal, so do they. So, every time a conflict happens, Pakistan basically tries to subtly say कि हाँ हाँ हमारे पास भी nuclear weapons है, right? Which is supposed to act as deterrence. It is supposed to act as deterrence from our side as well. But they keep doing this. They keep, the first thing they say is कि हमारे पास भी nuclear weapons है, okay? हमारे पास भी nuclear. He says कि वो blackmail अभी नहीं चलेगा, just नहीं चलेगा, right? So they don't care essentially, and they will continue to do precision strikes if required. The third thing he says is that the Indus Waters Treaty, which was put in abeyance, is still in abeyance. He said कि blood and water can't flow at the same time. And the fourth thing he said is that now from this point forward, we will not be trading, at least with Pakistan, in the near future. And talks will only happen when it concerns Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and talks will only happen when it comes to terrorist activities by Pakistan, which is Pakistan supported terrorism. So these are broadly the things that Modi said. Why this is important is because it is showing a new sort of way we are looking at Pakistan, right? I do feel that this strong aggressive stance which was taken will go a long way, because now every time some terrorist organization even thinks of doing something, they know that we might retaliate big way on the military, and that is important, right? We have been able to do a lot of damage, my friends. Let me show you the damage. So this is the overall map of what has gone down since the 7th till now. This was posted by Damian Simon. He is a satellite imagery expert from what I know. His handle is Ditresfa_, and he's been at it. Look at the overall targets that were there. So the ones in white are the ones that were a part of the precision strike. So, as I said, in Bahawalpur was a big strike which was inside Pakistan. The Markaz Taiba in Muridke, where these two are the ones which the Prime Minister also mentioned and called them universities of terrorism. Again, these were clearly two very important targets that we were planning, we did sort of bomb. Right. Other than that, there were some within the POK and some outside the POK. So international border, there were some inside Pakistan and some were in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Right. Then after that, when we started attacking their military targets, there were again two places which are worth mentioning. Right. One is the Noor Khan operation site. If you look closely, it is very close to Islamabad. Right. And the second one is Sargodha. Now, Sargodha is also a very important nuclear site. The third one, which I would also consider important, is Malir Kant in Karachi. I didn't know till I saw this map that we went so far. Like literally till Karachi, till Bholari, Sukkur, Jacobabad. These, I don't know, in the military briefing also, they barely mentioned this, but they did. So basically, we attacked all these locations along Pakistan, and some of them you can see are extremely inside Pakistan, right? Now, the reason why I said these two are important is because some of their nuclear facilities are here in these two places, right? One is Noor Khan, that is their operation site. So, from what I know from news, the arsenal and how it's activated and everything, it happens here. We took down a satellite, like a radar there. And the second one is Sargodha, right? Sargodha is very close to this place called Kirana Hills, right? Before I come to Kirana Hills, I need to go to the press conference, right? Now we will go to the press conference. Now, one of the reporters there asked a question whether we bombed Kirana Hills, and this was the response.
A lot of rumors about Sargodha. There are foreign analysts who've mentioned that the Sargodha attack led to certain leaks. Is there a confirmation that we actually hit Kirana Hills, or we were careful of not to do any such thing? Thank you.
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
So, when he was asked whether we attacked Kirana Hills, it was a strange response, I would say. There are two ways of looking at this, right? First, he said, thank you for telling us Kirana Hills houses nuclear installations, right? And then we did not know about this, and we did not attack Kirana Hills. We did attack Sargodha though. Now, Sargodha is very close to Kirana Hills, where their nuclear facilities are. There is like an underground bunker where they should store their nuclear weapons, etc. There are two ways of looking at this. One is the most surface level thing, which is fake news sunna band karo. I guess. I mean, if they are denying it, can we really say that they did it? It's worth thinking about, right? Now, the Sargodha air base, which we attacked, we put like some craters into their airfields. The Kirana Hills is a bit away from there, close but away. It is the nuclear facility, so they are saying we didn't do it. There was this India Today report which is worth mentioning here. I think I'll show you the map properly of how this happened. Inside Kirana Hills, the site India denies striking. They saw smoke coming from the Kirana Hills. There were some videos that showed smoke coming from the actual hills. Now, we attacked this part, which is the air base. It is 7 kilometers away from where the smoke was seen, and this is Kirana Hills, right? So the army right now is saying that we didn't do anything here. Idhar kiya tha though, the Mushraf air base. Smoke was seen here, and this is where the storage of missile transport vehicle and underground storage of bunkers is here, and this is the radar site, and this is the helipad. Okay, this is the Sargodha garrison, as they call it. So in a way, one is, you can always say that fake news pe believe mat karo. That may be one of the ways to look at it. But the second thing that might be true, again, this is based on just educated guess and reading of what happened, is that we did do something here, but because it has nuclear facilities, there was a chance of fallout. So we do not want to accept it. Okay, now we have to combine these two with what happened with the ceasefire, right? Reports indicate that there was afra-tafri that happened after the 10th, after we did these strikes specifically. The Sargodha, Noor Khan, all their military bases. America immediately told Pakistan to call us and do the ceasefire, right? Maybe one of the things that might have happened is that we managed to damage some of their nuclear equipment, right? You have to understand that nuclear equipment in Pakistan is also a strategic weapon for US against China, and also to keep control on Afghanistan. So they care a lot about their nuclear arsenal, Pakistan's nuclear arsenal, which means that if we manage to reach these places, sabki phat gayi hogi. And again, I'm saying this with it's an educated guess based on a lot of reading that I've done. So my theory right now is that because we managed to hit these places is why they panicked and they immediately wanted to do a ceasefire, because it would mean extreme destruction in Pakistan. And one of those places was near Islamabad. Again, big ass city, nuclear things. So, yeah, that is again what I think has happened, right? We do deny it, but we don't know what really happened. Again, up to anyone. Now, the second thing that happened at the DGMO is the plane down thing. Now, we have been debating this for a while. We have been trying to figure out kya hua hai exactly, whether planes have been taken down on our side, on their side. So, a question was asked at the press conference whether we have lost any planes.
So, Dinakar with the Hindu newspaper. Sir, can you give a number of assets we lost? Because there's been a lot of speculation going on. International media writing a lot of things about our platforms, including Rafale. I mean, Pakistan claiming that Rafale has been downed, etc. Can you put that question to rest and clarify on that?
I guess that question is for me. All right. I'm happy that you've asked this question. You know, we are in a combat scenario, and losses are a part of combat. The question that you must ask us, okay, and indeed that we must ask ourselves, you inclusive, is have we achieved our objectives? Have we achieved our objective of decimating that terrorist camp? And the answer is a thumping yes. And the results are for the whole world to see. As for the details, what could have been, how many numbers, which platform did we lose? You know, at this time, I would not like to comment on that because we are still in a combat situation. And if I comment on anything, it will only be advantage adversary. So we don't want to give him any advantage at this stage. All I can say is that we have achieved our objectives that we selected, and all our pilots are back home.
So, Dinakar.
So, in short, what just happened is that we are basically being very careful with the information that we give outside, right? Again, it makes complete sense, right? We cannot admit whether we have lost a plane or not, right? Because we have a limited number of platforms or planes, Rafales and etc. If we give information, then the other side gets it, and that is a disadvantage for us, combat wise and conflict wise. So again, guys, we are not people who are in combat, so please give some credit to our armed forces and air forces. Please let them keep the information to themselves. I guess in a combat situation, information matters. Someday we will get maybe clarification on what really happened, but today is not that day. But he did say that the pilots have returned safe, so in a way he is neither confirming nor denying it, right? So you can read what you want. What he said that we have hit the targets, we have strategically hit the targets that we intended to, and that was a success, and pilots are home, right? You can read between the lines, you can say whatever you want, but at the same time, it is really dangerous to sort of speculate. So let's not go there. So this is sort of an answer for the whole people who have been asking कि हमारे plane गिरे कि नहीं गिरे. It's a decent answer, I would say. And yeah, I get it. I hope you do too. Okay, so I am going to give you a few more updates on what has been going on. As I said, we are currently in a ceasefire situation, but there are some reports that came in last night that maybe that's not true. Want to show you that. There were some drone attacks that have happened in Jammu and Kashmir. There were small number of suspected drones being observed near Samba in J&K being engaged. There is no need to be alarmed is what the officials said. This is what was going on. So you can see still firing going on, and they are taking out drones. This is our air defense systems going at it in Samba. Amritsar was under partial blackout. The Golden Temple, they showed visuals, was in partial blackout, and I believe Srinagar, Jammu, bunch of places were in blackout. So this is confusing. I have to say this is extremely confusing to me. If there is ceasefire, which means that this shouldn't be happening, we are still engaging with them, which means we are not in a ceasefire. But weirdly enough, TV media has been quiet about this. They're just not showing this. All the reports we get are from social media right now, at least from these places. Citizens have been posting videos of this sort of activity happening last night. So what is going on here? Again, as I said in the last update also, it is important to understand, ceasefire might have happened between maybe the political class of here and there, but General Munir, who is a crazy person, he might be just like, nahi karne ka hai, mere ko jo karne ka hai wahi karne ka hai. So he must be still trying to flex his muscles and trying to use the military to gain information on assets that we have. I have essentially spoken to one person who is a defense expert who refused to come on my stream, but they were nice enough to give me some time to answer some questions. One of the things I asked them was, what is going on here? Why are they sending so many drones? So Indian government is saying that they have sent some over 200 drones and they keep coming. So there are like swarms that keep coming and we keep trying to take them down. Some of them are surveillance drones and some of them are fighter drones. Essentially they have guns and rocket launchers equipped on them which fire also. So what is happening here? One of the things that might be happening is that they might be sussing out our air defense systems. So whenever they send a drone, we fire and they are able to see like estimated target of where it came from. So they might be making like a map of where our air defense systems are, because so far the one thing that we have been really good at and dominating Pakistan with is our air defense system. So this drone swarm coming in might be an indicator that they're trying to gather intelligence on where our air defense systems are. Now our air defense systems are multi-layered from what I understand. So the first layer is basically people carrying rocket launchers and anti-air missiles and guns, and they are firing. The second layer are smaller sort of installations, surface to air missiles. They're tinier. These are the ones that apparently are those. And the third layer is the S-400. Now the S-400 is the big bap of all air defense systems. They are literal missiles that can be used against tanks, aircrafts and their platforms, right? So far, from what experts are saying, we have not exactly used S-400 too often. We are basically using the first and second layer mostly, which can be moved around, right? So that is again another thing. It's actually quite fascinating when you think about how the army is thinking about it. If they use too much S-400, then they would know where they are, which would reveal our sort of air defense systems. So they have to be also very careful about how they use it. The other shitty thing that has been happening from the side of Pakistan is that they have been just sending passenger aircrafts from Lahore to Islamabad. International flights have been flying in a no-fly zone, and they have been trying to use them as human shields. So that is actually a very big tactical disadvantage for our army, and they have been extremely careful about not using big guns. Because what if you hit that plane, then Pakistan just gets a reason to basically set the narrative saying that Indian government took down civilians, etc. They have been using planes as human shields, right? Which is such a shit thing to do, but that is also happening. So you have to understand that these air defense things are very strategic, and it's important for you to understand why this might be happening. Again, this is based on my conversation with a defense expert. Please look at other sources as well to see if I'm correct or not. And I would be very happy to be corrected. So please leave comments below. I am not a weapons expert or a conflict expert or whatever. So I am also like learning a lot of things while this is happening. So all criticism is welcome. Please leave comments below. Another update. Must tell you this. So throughout this, our BJP people have been saying, don't politicize the issue, but they want to politicize the issue now, and it is confirmed. BJP is going to launch a nationwide 10-day Tiranga Yatra from May 13th, which is today, to May 23rd. Aims to reach out to every citizen, highlighting the achievements of Operation Sindoor. So this is going to happen. You will have like a lot of chest beating happening over the next 10 days politically. A lot of attack against the opposition that will happen, obviously, because that is their playbook. So now BJP is going to full on politicize this issue, while at the same time they would tell the opposition not to politicize this issue, because apparently they have like a copyright on national security at this point of time. That is something that is an update that I thought you should know. And this is worth playing. This is something that Amit Shah said in 2023 about ceasefire.
जब हमारी सेना जीत रही थी, पंजाब का एरिया आते ही सीज फायर कर दिया गया और पाक ऑक्यूपाई कश्मीर का जन्म हुआ. अगर सीज फायर 3 दिन लेट होता तो पाक ऑक्यूपाई कश्मीर आज भारत का हिस्सा.
And this is exactly what happened right now, which is we did a ceasefire. So according to him, अगर ceasefire 3 दिन late होता तो पाक occupied Kashmir हमारा होता. Yeah, no, I mean famous last words, I guess. Finally some bonus content for you, dear viewer. We are going to watch this, which is okay. Just letting you know, this has happened. Ranveer Allahabadia went on Piers Morgan. If you don't know Piers Morgan, think Sudhir Chaudhary with a British accent who conducts debates. Okay, he went on Piers Morgan and tried to set the narrative.
I'm here to present proofs, facts, and figures.
Also, have to mention Barkhadat was also there.
Donald Trump claimed that he was responsible for the ceasefire, and Pakistan proceeded to break the ceasefire about an hour after it was announced. My question to the world is about this man. I hope everyone's able to see this person's face. He was found 800 meters from a military base in Pakistan. That's the face that the world recognizes. This is the face that India recognizes because it's most specific to our narrative. This man is a UN designated terrorist being celebrated by the Pakistani military in the background. That's not the narrative that they give the Pakistanis. That's not the narrative that the world knows. But if you check with the UN, if you check with the US, they tell you that this is Abdul Rauf. India's attacks were precision oriented, moderate, and most importantly, they were simply a retaliation as they've always been. India has never been an aggressor in any of these situations. We export vaccines, we export philosophy, and we export engineers and leaders to the world. That's why our economy is 11 times the size of Pakistan. But the Pakistani narrative is that, hey, look at these people, they're trying to get the world to sympathize with them. Pierce, my question is to you. You've seen the objective facts and figures. What do you feel about this whole situation? The world only knows this person. India has a list just like people like this man.
Well, Ranveer,
So, Ranveer Allahabadia was called on Piers Morgan to debate about the India-Pakistan issue. Have to say, if you haven't seen Piers Morgan Uncensored, he does this. He calls a lot of popular YouTubers and podcasters and everyone because honestly, he's chasing their clout. So it's called clout chasing. What that means is you get someone like Ranveer, his followers watch this show and he gets views. That is exactly what is happening. Barkha Dutt, of course, also might fall in the same category, but at least she's a little more relevant to the whole thing and she's a little more of a expert on war, at least, because she's covered the conflict of Kargil, etc. Now, this is the part which was funny.
Ranveer, my question for you would be that you posted something on Instagram, which I found very interesting, but you then deleted it, seemingly after the backlash that it attracted. So for those who didn't see it, let me just remind people of what you said. Dear Pakistani brothers and sisters, I will get hate from many Indians for this, but it's important to be said, just like many Indians, I don't have hate in my heart for you. Many of us want peace as well. Whenever we meet Pakistanis, you invariably welcome us with love. But your country is not run by a government. It's run by your military and your secret service, the ISI. The average Pakistani is very different than these two bodies. The average Pakistani has dreams of peace and prosperity in their hearts. These two villains have hurt your economy since independence. They've also constantly been responsible for terrorist attacks in India. Proofs in the next slide. First.
Okay, I had no idea that Ranveer Allahabadia posted this on his Instagram where he basically said we want peace, we want have to talk about this. There is also one more podcaster which our prime influencer did a podcast with. What's his name? I forget his name. Chat, uska naam kya hai re? This Russian podcaster, I forget his name. Anyway, so this international podcaster, they all talk about like humanity and love for humanity and we will spread love and all the things. I think Ranveer is also like trying to do that, the same copycat thing. He's also wearing like suit boot and all the things which is very comparable to that guy. So Lex Friedman, thank you chat, thank you Memra have told me, I totally blanked out on his name. Lex Friedman is the other podcaster. Now I had no idea that he posted this and deleted this.
First of all, why did you delete that?
Why did you delete that?
Deleted it because the ceasefire was broken and Pakistan just gave us another reason to not trust the entire state once again. Even if you try having a conversation with Pakistanis, they respond with, hey, where's the proof about the Pahalgam attack? My question is that...
No, the reality is that he must have gotten a lot of hate for that. Basically, during times of conflict, if you are someone who is essentially saying, please have peace, please de-escalate, you must have seen a lot of people getting hate who have been telling other people to de-escalate, no to war, peace, all the things. Yeah, during conflict, emotions are high and he must have gotten a lot of hate and that's why he deleted it. Now he's coming up with a random reason about why he deleted it.
Have you studied what the world is saying about your country? Have you seen the economy of your own country? It's very important to understand that the Indian armed forces simply retaliated to the action of the Pakistanis. I have no narrative other than the one that the world should know. We are combating terrorism because if India exports vaccines and engineers, Pakistan exports terrorism.
Here's the thing, if you are setting the narrative, you don't have to say it 5 times. The narrative that I'm trying to say, the narrative is our narrative. Narrative. No. If you are trying to set the narrative, friend, please don't say narrative like 5 times. Just don't do it. It's just like, just say your points. Anyway, it's Ranveer Allahabadia. Kya kar sakte hai? But I mean, yeah, theek hai. I mean, good show on the Osama bin poster and the other poster. Well done, Ranveer. Well done. Le lo mere se brownie points. The second part is this. Okay, one thing I have to say. I have seen a lot of Pakistani commentators over the last few days, and they come off as like douchey in a lot of places. This is one of those.
First of all, for an international audience, I think it's quite clear to see compared to Hina Rabbani's poise and grace, Barka Dutt's theatrics. I think nothing has gone down faster than a Rafael and Barka Dutt's credibility throughout this entire process. She first
Except
reported
the
about
F-16.
Karachi.
Except
Basically, ad hominem personal attacks, one-liners, because that is what this person, whoever he is doing. That is Hina Rabbani, by the way.
except the F-16 that India shot down, the naval bases that were demolished. No answer
But
to
you're
And
welcome to,
Barkha Dutt got
you're
a
welcome to
little
make a million
baited
comments
also.
while I talk, but
You
will
make-
let me
you
finish.
make ad
It is
hominem
rather
attacks.
sad to see a once credible
Sorry.
journalist getting reduced to Arnab Goswami in a way.
Don't
Let me
need
thank you that-
certificates. Don't need certificates from members of a terrorist state.
All right,
Go ahead.
let's quote you then.
Shehzad,
Barkha
let's
Dutt,
present
Barkha Dutt
objective
15
facts and
years ago
figures
said, Ranveer, you can bring your pictures any day that you want. I'll come to your facts and figures. But let me just quote Barkha Dutt on this. 15 years ago, the same Barkha Dutt said that the prejudiced administrative and political system is not letting her name that the Prime Minister of India right now, Narendra Modi, is attacking Muslims. If we're going to talk about international organizations
wait.
labeling somebody a terrorist,
What are you-
Narendra Modi
what?
was labeled a threat to religious freedoms around the world and was
By whom?
visa was
By
revoked.
whom?
The difference
By whom?
by the United
By
States of
whom?
America, Barkha Dutt, you know this. You're only playing to an audience. You said a Pakistani pilot was arrested and captured, which turned out to be a lie. But once the
Oh, actually, that is true. So Barkha Dutt has actually spread some fake news, friends. I must tell you this. Unfortunately, she has fallen to a bunch of things over the past few days. To become first, she's like Mojo Story exclusive, pilot captured. I think she did a Karachi port attack thing also, and then later deleted it or corrected it. I don't understand. But she has been victim to some fake news and has also amplified some fake news, so there is some truth to that. But the ad hominem attack is too much. मतलब ये होमवर्क करके आया है बेसिकली. देखा उसने कि इसके 15 साल पहले वाले स्टेटमेंट लेके आता है मैं.
YouTube dollars come in, maybe fact goes out of the window. So let's talk about facts. Narendra Modi was involved in
Yeah,
this.
let's talk about facts.
Pakistan and
Let's
India
talk about
is we
facts.
capture our terrorists,
Let's
we do
talk
not
about
elect
Asim
them.
Munir.
Ranveer
Don't
Allahabadia-
talk over each other. Don't talk over each other. No one can hear you when you do that.
Barkha Dutt has spoken for half an hour. I have a right to respond. Ranveer Allahabadia decided to interject. He's had BJP people on his podcast. I'm not talking about the state in general. I'm talking about Ranveer Allahabadia specifically. I've now figured out why he's called beer biceps, because what he said sounds like the most drunk shit I've heard in my life. This is what happens when you repeat.
Okay, that was savage. But I mean, Ranveer was not saying drunk shit. He was making a point, and I do think his point was valid. Val here makes an important point. Ranveer didn't take Osama's name. Clipping optimization, very interesting. So like he basically just showed the photo, didn't take the name, so that they can cut out this part of the debate and put it out on their channels and won't get demonetized. Genius. आदमी ना मतलब content समझता है आदमी. One thing I respect him for is, unlike me who gets demonetized left, right, center for just doing what I'm doing right now, this guy doesn't, because smart boy, very smart he is.
What you're pointing out with Osama bin
Well,
Laden
hang on. Okay, hang on. Shehzad, hang on.
is an
Wait.
intelligence failure.
Whoa,
It's not deliberate action.
Shehzad, sorry, hang on.
Oh my
No, sorry.
Okay, and one thing I saw, Barkha Dutt did get baited here a bunch of times. It was not necessary to get baited, because the dude is just, he was trying to get a rise out of people. But again, क्या है ये Piers Morgan का debate show है, क्या ही expect कर सकते हैं?
Sorry, I moderate this. Shehzad, sorry, with the best will in the world, what you've just said is utterly ludicrous. Osama bin Laden was found literally living in a house for years, a few hundred yards from one of Pakistan's main military bases. So if your intelligence didn't know he was there, it must be de facto the worst intelligence in the history of military intelligence. All they had to do
Again,
was get a
savage.
pair of binoculars, and they would have found the most wanted terrorist in the world who committed one of the worst terror attacks in history. So forgive me, but that is a ludicrous statement to try and pretend
So maybe-
that somehow
maybe-
this was American intelligence who was sort of...
Maybe we should not trust assumptions here. October 7th happened. That doesn't.
Assumption
prove
क्या है
Muslim.
बे? सही में था वो अबोटाबाद में. That guy was there like literally near a military base and he was living there for years, and like the US whatever, उन्होंने भी तो surgical strike किया और उसको take out किया ना. Anyway, Pakistani commentators are also bit of like ad hominem and kuch bhi bakwas karte rehte. So yeah, fun debates happening all around the world. And I love to see it. Okay, so that was all the updates for these videos. If you have seen the video till the end, I want you to write pineapple in the comments below, because I will know that you have seen it till the end, and it will confuse the shit out of everyone else. Yes, I will see you in the next update. Bye bye.